Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Sunday, May 13th, 12:42 a.m. Mountain Time 2018. You're looking at a 3D image of the Kilauea caldera, the current lava lake level down below here, showing you the extreme amount of topography in that tube. It has dropped down around 800 feet, and when it hits the 900 feet mark, groundwater will start spilling into this area. And that is the steam eruption we're waiting for. The warning starts in 24 hours and will continue into the week. We're going to be monitoring it closely, so stay tuned for updates. Storms exiting the region after putting on quite a light show. Are they talking about plasma discharge? What? They are. There is the Capitol building. There's a lightning bolt striking Trump as we speak. A mix of high temperatures on Saturday and a cold front to the north of the region is bringing damaging storms to the D.C. area, including the White House. Whew, look at that shot. Someone paid a lot for that. Severe thunderstorm watch issued for PA. Hail the size of limes possible. Boom! There's a lime. Limes? Who wrote that? That's insane. That's a lime. Where are we? Hail slams Blackfoot area. May have caused crash on I-15. Heads up. Share this. Those look like dimes, not limes. The National Weather Service is tracking a thunderstorm in Blackfoot area moving across eastern Idaho. Photos sent from viewers indicate nickel or pea-sized hail in the Rose area. Winds reaching 40 miles per hour are possible. There's the suspected crash due to hail. And it's... Oh, jeez. Heads up. Yeah, we're doing it. Montana River recedes, but flood waters likely to resurge. Now, this is because of the freezing cold temperatures up in Montana, locking up that moisture back up into the mountains, and it's going to get hot there again this week. And then the Missoula area, the flooding will continue Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So the peak at 13.82 feet is not the peak. People are going to be complacent, try to go back home, and they are going to wake up later this week to a nightmare. Do not get complacent, folks. The Montana River did recede, but it will go up later this week. Heads up. Check the GFS model. You're showing the icon, which is showing major snows in western Wyoming. So heads up. And this is the minimalistic model. It's also showing some late May 20th snows in Colorado, which is much needed. And there are some snows falling in the Sierras over the next 3 days, as well as northern Nevada, Idaho, and then that heavy snow in western Wyoming coming midweek, May 16th through the 17th. So keep an eye on that if you're up there. Weather Ready Nation map, severe thunderstorms from the plains to the middle Atlantic, fire weather in the southeast. Thankfully, the winds died down today. It was horrendous again. Strong to isolated severe thunderstorms and locally heavy rain will likely develop at times along the boundary extending from portions to the plains to the mid-Atlantic. This means more hail, folks. Hail has been occurring every day for the last 2 months and is going to continue to occur and increase globally as the cosmic rays increase, based on historical documents and science. Yeah, that kind. Yeah, man. Whoa. It's not the aliens, man. It's science. Yeah. Above average number of homes destroyed by snow this winter. Al, can we get a refund on the cyclone fence? Check out the NBC snow damage. They're pissed. She looks really trendy. Look at those glasses. He doesn't look too happy to even be having this job. Look at him. He's looking off screen. Fairbanks experienced its 10th snowiest season ever recorded. That's true. with the snow load maybe factoring the roofs collapsing along with unusually high numbers of damaged structures. They are concerned. Look at this. Building smashed. I like her. She doesn't have any makeup on. Heads up. Good job, lady. So you can clearly see here, Al, this pile of rubble was caused by snow, which you claimed wasn't going to occur anymore. Clearly here there was too much of the stuff that is not supposed to happen anymore, crushing this building. How can you explain that, Al? 100 claims between Fairbanks and Anchorage based on a white substance that is no longer supposed to fall out of the sky. Whew. A high number of distressed homes, ice damming, cracking. I thought you said it wasn't Al. One financial insurance representative here in Fairbanks said that Al Gore is to blame. Just in the last month, restoration companies have also noticed a high number of distressed homes due to snow load, Al, and ice damming. Whew. How does that ice form in global warming? I just don't know. Let's talk about some other anomalous snow. There's something miraculous about the sight of snow falling in one of the hottest, flattest, and driest continents on Earth. And that is a boom. Yes, it's science, and it's not aliens. Al, it's snow falling on one of the hottest, flattest, driest continents on Earth. That definitely shouldn't happen if we were in a global warming world. She's happy about it. Global cooling is in, and sledding is awesome. Heavy blizzards like the one that just hit Australian Alps are rare. They're so rare that they're not being covered by the media anywhere. I challenge you to Google blizzards in the Italian Alps, and you know how many articles there are? None. You're only going to find this one with this child. Totally happy that it snowed in one of the hottest, flattest, driest continents on Earth. Now the bomb is continuously spewing their global warming nonsense, even though it is snowing on the hottest, flattest, driest continent on Earth, after Al Gore claimed in 2007 that it was going to stop snowing. I don't know if you guys know that. That's over a decade ago. Heavy blizzards like the one that just hit the Australian Alps are rare, so rare that they don't even cover it in the news. And despite the huge advances in forecasting, like the Oppenheimer Ranch channel, Adapt 2030, and others, we nailed this. It's only going to get worse. She's only going to get happier, and Al Gore is only going to get more wrong. Now, the bomb doesn't issue official snow season outlooks because they would be wrong. They would claim there's no snow. So, the outlook this year is no snow. But my official prediction is the first week of August is going to be the biggest blizzard ever recorded in southern Australian history. First week of August. There's my prediction. August 5th through the 9th, there is going to be snow, the likes of which you have never seen ever. Al. Official prediction by Oppenheimer Ranch. Moving on, several earthquakes rattled the Octillo Wells near the border of San Diego and Imperial counties, a total of 4 this Saturday afternoon, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, as well as a 5.7 that was downgraded to 3.3. Are you hearing me? If anyone was out there and they felt the rattling, please leave a message below in the comments to tell people that the USGS is downgrading earthquakes that are in remote areas in the hopes of which no one will call them on their BS. As Octillo Wells continues to rumble live, we have a small aftershock 2.8 in Henshaw. Leilani Estates continues to rumble as well, with dozens of earthquakes today in the 2 to 3 magnitude range, which is indicative of magma moving and more ruptures forming. In fact, early this morning, rupture number 16 formed right near the geothermal plant as predicted by this channel. There is major activity globally, 5.3 Papua New Guinea. We have a strange uptick up in Kotzebue area here in the middle of nowhere. We had an earthquake up in the Arctic region that is now off the map. It has been removed, but there was an earthquake way up in the Arctic Circle. 5.6 in Tonga. Aftershock 4.2 in Bleinheim. Another aftershock in Japan, 4.9. The Aleutians are ringing, 4.1. This is near Cleveland here. False Pass, 4.2. And Cobb, California, up on that fault zone. Heads up. Activity is high, and we're on an alert for the next 24 hours for a major quake. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano has experts warily eyeing the volcano peaks along the west coast. They must be watching this channel. It has nothing to do with Hawaii, everything to do with cosmic rays and the increased muons heating the high siliceous magma in the subsurface, especially in the Cascadia Range, where all those volcanoes are highly siliceous. So we're going to be watching that. Now, these siliceous magmas are the most violent because they're the most viscous. The least viscous volcanoes are the ones erupting now. The more viscous ones will take time to charge. And the results will be catastrophic. We've shown you the graph here. That just 200 years ago, 7 volcanoes were erupting in the Cascadia region. So that's a heads up. We're going to get on to some more Kilauea updates. Volcano Observatory daily update from the USGS here of Kilauea Volcano. Lower East Rift Zone minor spattering activity has been reported from New Fissure 16 that opened at 6:45 this morning, 1 mile northeast of Fissure 15 at the northeast end of the existing vent system. No significant lava from this new fissure has been reported or observed, but we saw some video on Volcano YT of a 20-foot lava cone forming and some spattering there. Conditions can change quickly, and we're expecting this phreatic steam eruption to occur starting in 24 hours sometime later this week. I'm going to say around Thursday, there's going to be a violent eruption in Kilauea, but we're watching it closely, and we're going to be adjusting that data. I'm going to leave you links to volcano monitoring data at Kilauea. It's going to show you the earthquake data coming in live. It's taking a while to download here. Also leave you links to the Hawaii Interagency VOG information dashboard when you can click on all of these links. You can get the VOG and wind forecasts, which is very important because if you're breathing this, it's burning your lungs and you're killing yourself. So you need to know about current and past air quality. Click on this. If you want to know what VOG is, click on this. Click on any of these squares. Learn about the health effects of VOG, how to protect yourself from VOG, what happens to your garden when the VOG sets in. Learn how to catch water safely without it being affected by VOG, purifying air to purge the VOG contaminants, and you can get all space-based data and images here. It's an excellent resource. So I leave you links to this. It's down below in the description box where it says show more. Look at the earthquakes on the southeast portion of this island. You're looking at the last 14 days in yellow. That's thousands of quakes. Thousands. You can see where the centrally located area here is at Pu'u'o'o crater. And then the rift zone moving to the north and the east. Slowly, this lava is now pooling here. It's going to be ejected out into the ocean probably in 7 to 10 days. Mark my words. Another prediction from the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. New lava flow out into the ocean in this region in 7 to 10 days. As this lava has come down from Mauna Loa, the Kilauea caldera, and moved down through this rift zone to the east and north now, and is located centrally in this area. There's a huge pool of lava here causing this seismic activity, pushing its way to the ocean. Anyone who has houses on this side, I am sorry. It's a wrap for you guys. I'll leave you links to all of this, as well as the 3D image of the open vent system. Now the lava lake dropping deep into the ground. Very similar to the 1924 event. Now, if you come down into this article here, you're going to learn some interesting information here. If I can find it. The receding lava lake resembles conditions seen before a major summit eruption in 1924, said Tia Neal, scientist in charge at the USGS. This woman is on point. She is not fear mongering. She is being very careful in her verbiage, and her warning should be heeded. Now, that explosion back in 1924 killed one person and sent rocks, ash, and dust into the air for 17 days. And there was almost no one on the island, especially in this region. Today, there are thousands of idiots that have built homes on the flank of this live erupting volcano. In fact, they built their homes while the volcano has been erupting, right on the flank of it. So anyone that is worried about these idiots that built a house on the side of this volcano should be worried about preparing for their own calamities coming soon as the prices rise in the supermarkets and you get bought out of your retirement. Let's talk about the 4.6 earthquake happening right off the coast of Madagascar in Bandrel, Mayotte. This is not looking good for the vanilla. If this volcano blows, then vanilla will be no longer available unless it comes from a beaver anus. Now, the Mayotte Island in the Mozambique chain between the northern tip of Madagascar and the eastern coast of Africa consists of two volcanoes with diverse geochemistry. Very little is known about these except that they're fucking gigantic and that 2000 BC they erupted and killed everyone in the region. If you're wondering about what happened in 2000 BC, if there was anything space weather related, it is this grand solar minimum right here, 2050 BC, when that volcano erupted and killed everyone. There's also evidence that it has erupted more recently with pumice deposits that look to be from the Maunder minimum. And we are headed into the Eddy minimum, and I bet you that this baby blows in a big way. There's no information to suggest otherwise, except that we just had a major quake right off the coast of this major volcano. Do your own research. Simulated moon dust leads to cell death and DNA alteration, study says. Not only can we not travel to Mars, anyone, ever, and stay there for any period of time because we'll be dead within the year, anyone thinking that they're going to the moon is going to stay inside of a bubble. Guys, we need to worry about the planet we're on. Life has existed here for 3 billion years. It has never been eliminated. Even through all the mass extinctions, life has continued to remain. Humans have been on Earth probably since the last mass extinction, which means humans have been around for 5.4 million years. We're going to live through this glacial period, this grand minimum, whatever time frame you want to look at. We're going to make it through. Not a lot of us. Some of us will. We're not going to the moon. That's not going to save us. We're not going to Mars. We need to stop polluting the earth we live on and start surviving and thriving in sustainable ways. That does not mean taxing CO2. We need CO2 for plant food, you idiots. Let's talk about some solutions, and then we're going to get on a little bit of a nonsense, and then we're going to finish this up with some science, not the alien kind. Helianthus tuberosus. This is a sunflower family plant, and it's called the Jerusalem artichoke. If you are prepping for the things that are coming and you are learning how to grow food, you need to buy these now. Go onto eBay, look for a reputable source, and buy 5 pounds of Jerusalem artichokes for no more than $30 delivered. And you will have enough food to survive and thrive forever. Now, these are tuberous sunflowers. They grow a 6 to 8 foot flower on top. They are invasive. They will spread throughout your property, and in the ground will be stored these delicious, delectable tubers that is the ultimate survival food. If you do not know about Jerusalem artichokes or sunchokes, you do now. Now, Helianthus tuberosus is native to the eastern United States, will grow anywhere from the equator almost up to the Arctic Circle, and is perennial, meaning once you plant it, it will continue to spread and produce food forever without you doing anything. Perennial vegetables are your survival key. They continue to spread and provide abundance with zero work. So please get to know these crops. Now, the reason you don't see them in your supermarket is they don't store well. They only last a few weeks above the surface, but they last forever underground, and you just leave them there until you need to eat. And you dig up some, prep them, and you eat them. Here's 25 ways to use Jerusalem artichokes. They're similar to tubers like potatoes, only much more higher nutrient dense. This is a survival food where you can survive and thrive and eat delicious food. And no one even knows it's there. It's buried in the ground. You can have a whole acre of it, give away your entire stash, and no one will know that you didn't tell them about these sunchokes. So learn about sunchokes that could save your life. Let's talk about Steve Goddard. He's kicking ass, taking names. Deplorable science, deplorable climate science blog. I'll leave you links to it. But this just came out May 11th after suffering their coldest spring and latest ice out ever in history in Minnetonka. The Star Tribune is back to convince their readers the planet is overheating as ice is disappearing. Can you believe this? Where ice out was the latest ever recorded in history, going back into the middle of the 1800s. The Star Tribune has the audacity to print a headline that says, the planet is overheating as ice is disappearing. Can you believe that? Did you know that 30 years ago, NASA scientist James Hansen said that 350 parts per million was the threshold and we're all going to die? The safe level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is 350 parts per million. Who sent that memo? There is no evidence to suggest that's true. In fact, based on scientific evidence, this safe carbon dioxide level is any level. The higher it is, the more plants there are. When we had all the coal measures during the Carboniferous, CO2 was over 2,500 parts per million. And the entire planet was a jungle because CO2 is plant food. All these quotes are nonsense. The last time CO2 levels were this high, humans did not exist. Here's the data. The last 15,000 years, atmospheric temperature and carbon dioxide. Temperatures have been dropping for the last 11,000 years. Take a look. There's the Minoan warm, the Roman warm, our current warm. It's not warmer than ever. It's freezing. The temperature has been dropping for 11,000 years. We are in an ice age, folks. And take a look. CO2 has been rising for 11,000 years. That is an anti-correlation from the global warming theory. If anyone just looked at the data, the global warming theory is impossible based on the last 11,000 years of actual data. Thank you, Steve Goddard, for trying to do what we're doing, pointing out the nonsense. Let's talk about the solutions. I shared this months ago. We're going to talk about some PDFs on growing food. This one here coming out from San Diego, University of San Diego, Gardening 101, How to Grow Your Own Food, 100 pages. Dig in. I'm going to leave you links to it. The Mittleider Soil Bed Gardening Introduction, a short course in growing. Look at that food. Abundance is easy if you know the facts. This is another 100-page short course, which I'll leave you links to. If you know nothing about growing food, this is a undergraduate class in growing food in one PDF. You learn about how plants grow, what they need to survive and thrive, what you need to know to grow food, the 6 laws of plant growth: light, temperature, air, water, nutrition, competition. Get to know the facts. And if you're beyond the facts and you're that stupid, I've even included the gardening basics for dummies. You don't have to go buy the book, which is $22. It's right here for free. So if you think you don't know how to grow food, there is no dumber publication than the one I'm going to give you here. So don't be scared. Be prepared. Read the gardening basics for dummies. And I guarantee, even if you have a small IQ or you're 5 years old, you'll learn how to grow food. It's as simple as putting a seed in the ground, adding water, making sure it's moist until it sprouts, and then taking care of it. You talk to it, you play with it, then you harvest it, and it's delicious. Now, 300 scientists warned Congress of Noah's global warming fraud 8 years ago, and nothing has happened. Still, the mainstream spews its nonsense about some 97% consensus, as if science is a consensus. I assure you, science is not aliens, and it is not a consensus. It is an objective endeavor that involves looking at all available current data, all historical data, and checking your hypothesis based on the data. Our hypothesis has corroborated with the data and all of our predictions for years. All the solar scientists' predictions are coming true. We're basing our data on historical information. It's not, we're not soothsayers. We're scientists. And the data is ominous. There is no recovery in your future, in your children's future, or in multiple generations in the future. In fact, we're at the end of the interstadial, where maximum glaciation begins to occur. So we're going to see continued snow events, anomalous weather patterns, a very jagged jet stream, which is going to bring Arctic conditions during the middle of the summer into the central regions of the northern hemisphere. We're talking 40 degrees north. It's not going to be a good scenario for crops. We're going to have major crop losses. Inflation is already occurring. Within months, you're going to see your daily food costs double. By the end of the summer, it's going to be almost impossible for the average American to continue to buy groceries the way they've been buying them. People are going to start to cancel their cable, their Netflix, their music accounts in order to buy food. And by 2019, if you haven't already bought your stockpiles of supplies for the coming events, it's going to be too late. Rice is going to be $5 a pound. And you're already going to have spent all your money on eating for the last year. So start preparing today. Tomorrow, if you go to the store, buy $5 of something that you can store for 5 years. Rice, dried beans, get some batteries. Start preparing now. It is not getting better anytime soon. Do we have that data to show? Nonetheless. Guys, I hope you got something out of the video. Times are changing. Share this with like-minded people. We love each and every one of you, especially our Patreons. You keep me up all night researching just a little bit harder to find that piece of information that we missed. Earthquakes are on the uptick. Volcanic activity is on the uptick. Inflation is going to increase, and on and on. If you just sit around and watch YouTube videos about it, that is not going to help you when the X39 comes off the sun in just a few months. Because once the grid fries, everyone's going to be in that Walmart parking lot. Be safe, everybody.